Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into Plato's Republic, specifically Chapter 6.
Buckle up.
Yeah, we're going to witness the birth of a city.
Not just any city.
Yeah, not like in history or anything.
Yeah, it's a thought experiment.
Yeah, a philosophical one.
To help us explore the idea of justice.
Ooh, big concept. So it's not about, like, actual city planning, right?
Exactly. It's more about understanding this really fundamental question.
Which is?
What is justice? How do we define it?
Okay, so where does Plato even begin with this? Does he start with laws, rulers?
Actually, he starts with something way more basic. Human needs.
Okay, so like food, shelter, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So he's saying that societies don't just kind of appear out of nowhere.
Right. There's a reason why humans form these complex systems.
So what is the reason then, according to Plato?
It's because we're interdependent.
Meaning
We rely on each other.
we can't just like go it alone.
Exactly. We're not meant to be self-sufficient.
Okay, I can see that.
We all have different needs, talents, and desires.
So we naturally come together.
And specialize.
Right, so instead of everyone trying to be a jack of all trades,
We focus on what we're good at.
it makes sense from an efficiency standpoint.
Exactly. And Plato takes this idea even further.
Oh, how so?
He connects this interdependence, this specialization, to the very concept of justice.
Whoa, hold on. How does that work? How is being good at something, like, connected to justice?
Think about it this way. If everyone tried to do everything themselves,
Build their own houses, grow their own food.
right, it'd be chaos.
And probably not very good quality.
Exactly. Things would be super inefficient.
Okay, I'm starting to see the logic here.
So for Plato, this division of labor, this specialization, it's the very first seed of justice.
So when everyone plays their part, contributes to the community.
That's a form of justice, according to Plato.
So it's less about, like, fairness in the modern sense.
Right.
And more about kind of a harmonious balance.
Exactly. It's about each part working in concert with the whole.
Okay, so how does Plato actually, like, build this city in Chapter 6? Does he give us a blueprint?
He starts with the essentials, just like we talked about.
Food, shelter, clothing.
Right. Those are the bare minimum.
And so then he introduces the first citizens,
The farmer, the builder, the weaver.
already specializing, even at this early stage.
He even asks, and will a man do better working at many trades or keeping to one only?
That's a good point. You can't be a master of everything.
And remember, for Plato, mastering your craft is tied to this idea of justice, of contributing effectively.
So we got the foundation of our city,
The very basics.
but I have a feeling things don't stay simple for long, right?
You're catching on. Humans aren't exactly known for their minimalism.
So where does Plato go from here? Does he, like, start adding more stuff to the city?
He does. He acknowledges that people want more than just the bare necessities.
So is he saying that wanting more is bad?
That's where things get really interesting.
Is that where things start to go wrong in Plato's city?
Not necessarily wrong, but definitely more complex.
Right, I'm all ears.
Remember that Plato's writing in ancient Athens.
Known for its wealth and culture.
Exactly. A city that definitely embraced the finer things.
So when he talks about a city driven by desires, is he kind of like describing his own world?
You got it. It's a reflection of Athenian society.
And a critique, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. He calls this the luxurious city.
Not exactly a compliment, huh?
Nope. It's a city where people want fancy foods, elaborate homes, beautiful art, lots of entertainment.
I mean, that stuff sounds pretty good to me.
Right. It's not about those things being inherently bad.
So what's the problem then? Where does Plato draw the line between, like, healthy desires and excess?
It's about what happens when those desires become the driving force of society.
I think,
Remember, in the healthy city, everyone had a role based on their natural talents.
right, the farmer, the builder, and all that.
That principle gets kind of lost in the luxurious city.
So people are more focused on, like, getting ahead.
Yeah, chasing wealth and status instead of contributing to the community.
And that's where injustice creeps in.
Bingo! Competition replaces cooperation, inequality takes root.
And the whole idea of a shared purpose starts to fall apart.
Exactly. That's what Plato is warning us about.
So it's not just that people want nice things. It's that this wanting more.
It starts to warp the whole system.
And for Plato, justice is about order, right?
Right.
Both in the individual and in society.
You got it. So when desires run wild, when people prioritize their own self-interests,
That throws everything off balance.
and undermines the very foundation of justice.
Okay, wow, this is making me think about, like, our own world today.
How so?
I mean, we're constantly bombarded with messages about buying more, being more, achieving more.
It's everywhere, right?
Yeah. So is it even possible to resist that kind of pressure?
That's a huge question, and Plato doesn't offer easy answers.
But at least he gives us a way to think about it.
Exactly. He gives us a framework for understanding these challenges.
So we've seen this kind of like descent from the healthy city to this more chaotic, luxurious city.
Right. Two very different models of how a society can function.
But I'm guessing Plato doesn't stop there.
He doesn't. He's building towards something.
And that something is A true definition of justice.
Exactly. And to get there, he needs to show us both sides of the coin.
The good and the bad, the balanced and the excessive.
Right. And then we can start to see what a truly just society might look like.
Okay, so we've seen Plato's healthy city, and then things got a little out of control in the luxurious city.
A bit too much of a good thing.
But I get the feeling Plato isn't saying we all need to, like, renounce worldly possessions and live as hermits.
Not quite. He's getting at something deeper.
So how do we actually get from these cities, these thought experiments, to an understanding of justice itself?
Well, remember, Plato's ultimate goal isn't just to design a perfect city.
It's to define justice.
Exactly. And not just justice on a societal level, but within the individual, too.
So, like, what makes a person just?
He's using the city as an analogy for something else.
For what?
The human soul.
Wait, hold on. The city is like a metaphor for this soul.
Precisely. And this is where things get really fascinating.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
He argues that just as a city has different parts,
Like the rulers, the guardians.
right, the workers, all the different roles.
The soul has different parts too.
Exactly.
Okay, what are they?
Reason, spirit, and desire.
Whoa, so like our rational mind, our emotions, and our urges?
Exactly. And just as there's an order, a hierarchy within a well-functioning city,
There's a similar order within a just soul.
you got it.
So how does that work? Does that mean like our reason should always be in control?
That's the ideal, according to Plato.
So it's not about like getting rid of desire altogether.
No, it's about making sure reason is guiding the ship,
Our spirit supports it.
and our desires are kept in check.
So like in the healthy city, everyone's fulfilling their role, working together.
Right, in a just soul, it's the same idea.
Our different parts are in harmony.
Working towards a common goal.
Wow, this is like a whole new way of thinking about justice for me.
It's an internal concept as much as an external one.
So are you saying that, like, if we each work on creating a more just soul?
That could lead to a more just world?
Yeah, is that kind of what Plato's getting at?
That's the big question, right? And it's something he explores throughout the Republic.
So even though we've been talking about cities and rulers and all this,
It's really about understanding ourselves.
and how we fit into the bigger picture,
Exactly. The city is a microcosm of the soul, and vice versa.
this has been an incredible deep dive.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
We started with this seemingly simple question. Why do states exist?
And we ended up on this journey of self-discovery.
Exploring the very nature of justice, both within us and in the world around us.
It's a journey that's worth taking.